Hello my friends, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. This is Reading Addict. It's always my pleasure to be here on this platform in front of you. And I believe at least one listener is there. I just need one listener. I don't need many listeners. And for that viewer, I try my best to provide that viewer as much information as possible within this short period. So today's topic is sorry about that. So today's topic is a magic steeped in poison book, and I will do a short review. And I'm not a competent authority in reviewing books. I don't have a structure. I don't make notes. I don't follow a procedure or set a standard. My reviews are very informal, haphazard, and you can't put them into a very formal category, but still I try my best. That is my way, so I will try to do it my way because that's what I like. And we will start talking about this book. First of all, with the cover, I'm in love with this cover. Needless to say about the beauty of the girl on the cover, and you can see there is a pot as well. There is a teacup in her hands, and this book is it's a magical book based on magic, and specifically it's based on tea magic. So you will see so many magical details, so many different spells, different types of magic, different types of tea, different types of flavors. This book is filled with those details. And the name of the author is Judy Lin. I believe this is her first book, and this is how she looks like. I will give my rating about this book, but later on. And this book has, I believe, almost 362 pages. And I will start talking about the plot first because that is very important if we are going to talk about the review of the book. So there is this female protagonist. She is, I believe, 16, 17, 18. I'm not exactly sure about her age, but she is like, young adult. And she believes that she is somehow responsible for the death of her mother, not directly. And after reading the book, I can say that not indirectly as well. And she says that she is responsible for the death of her mother, and she is also responsible for the sickness of her sister. So there are 4 family members in total. Mother is dead. There is a father who is a physician, and her mother was a magician, a tea magician. And sister, she I believe this sister is a young sister, and she is sick in the beginning of the novel, and throughout the novel she remains sick, almost bedridden. And now this main protagonist, her name is Ning, Ning. And now she decides that, with the encouragement of her sister, and sister's name is Shu, Ning decides that she would go to the Central Empire. Names are, very unique. So this is a kind of very big empire, and she is on the very edge of the empire. And now she decides that she will go to the empire because there is a competition going on, and she will participate in the competition, and she will try her best to win the competition. And after winning the competition, she will ask for a special favor from the princess, who is uh, who's the princess of the empire. Emperor of the empire is also sick, and Ning will ask the princess that this special favor, that if she has some some stone, some some specific magic, or a physician for the treatment of her sister. This is Ning's primary objective in participating in that competition. So when she is there, there is, a very robust, boisterous atmosphere in the center of the city of Empire. City name is Jia. So gradually she starts participating in the competition, but she always makes so many blunders. She makes tons of mistakes, and she finds many supporters every now and then. As she is inside the court, she is inside the empire where court politics is in prominence, where nobody can save themselves from the court politics. She also becomes a victim of court politics. At one time she believes the princess, at another time she doesn't believe the princess, and this goes on and on. At one point she is believing, at other point she is not believing. And I believe that it is very confusing for the, not for the reader, but for herself, as she is very young and she wants to trust, but because of the court politics she can't trust anyone and she can't make any friends. But she finds few friends nonetheless. And this character, there is one particular trait about this character, is that she is egoistic. She always thinks about herself. She thinks from her perspective. She wants things to be organized in her fashion. But when other people are egoistic, when they behave, self-interestedly, then this main protagonist, she feels bad. This is, extremely absurd. So, but this is the part which I didn't like about this character. But she is young, she can do anything, this is her wish. But that's what I found very, stupid in the book. But no major objection. So this is how this novel is based. It revolves around court politics, magic. There is, different levels of competition. And at the end of the competition, when she is about to win, and suddenly, because of some reasons, she loses. So this is the, a little bit outline of the plot. I haven't spoken, even 5% of the original plot of the original novel, but I think this will give you a brief idea about what this is, what this book is based on. So now I will also talk about some other things. So this is the first part, and there is a second part. I'm not much excited, but it will be released, I believe, after a few months. Then definitely I will try my best to read it so that I could finish the whole series. So now, one particular thing that I noticed about this novel is that, this is my personal opinion, that I found majority of the characters, their personalities were incomplete. So they were not fully developed in the novel. I pay full respect to the author, but this is my personal opinion, that characters' personalities were incomplete. And I was kind of, at a very distant, uh, in terms of, book and reader, that I found characters at a very distant from the readers. I couldn't, connect with them. So there were many characters, but still I found that distance in between the characters and myself, the reader. That is one point that I noted throughout the book. And also, as I mentioned, that uh, before starting the book, I read this, and I mentioned this fact before, that the main protagonist, she thinks that she is responsible for the death of her mother, and same thing is written there as well. But I think it is completely misleading, because in the middle of the novel, when I came to know about the true reason of her mother's death, so this brief summary was not representing the actual content of the novel. So I found it a little bit misleading. I will not say more about this book. And what I can suggest, I will suggest, if, because uh, this book is based on tea magic, so there will be, different aromas, different fragrances, different food items. So if you are a foodie person, if you like food too much, then go for it, because in that way you will come across so many dishes in this book, and maybe you like this book. Secondly, if you are, if you are a kid, if you are in your teenage, then I believe that you will also like this book. But if you are an adult, then I think that you will not enjoy this book. I have read other books as well, like Divergent, like Legend of Mary Lou. Those were also young adult books. I believe those were not fantasy books, those were mostly dystopian. But still, I enjoyed those books. Though they were like fiction, but still, I enjoyed those books. I connected with the character, and I finished the whole series within a few days because I became addictive. So I believe Mary Lou is on a whole different level. That's my personal opinion. So one more thing, what? Why did I read this book? I read this book just for our diversion purpose, because previously I read some very, heavy philosophical work, and because of that I wanted to read something, light reading, which I could finish in just a couple of days, which happened. I started this book the day before yesterday, and I just finished it in a couple of days. I could have finished it earlier as well, but because of my work responsibilities I couldn't finish it earlier. So I think this is all about this book. If you love magic, if you love fantasy, then definitely you will enjoy this book. But if you are a person, who wants to read, inspirational, motivational, non-fiction book, then very soon I will talk about this book, The Mountain Is You, Transforming Self-Sabotage into Self-Mastery. I have read 40 pages of this book, and I am completely thrilled so far. It is extremely marvelous. I don't have words. Very interesting and unputdownable. I feel like reading, this in a few days, like in a couple of days. But I will try my best to not to read it too fast, because I want to absorb the ideas. Until I absorb the ideas, I don't like reading too much. I don't enjoy, because once I absorb it, once I connect with the characters, the material, then I can, apply my learning from the books into my real life. So that's it in this video, and I will connect with you very soon.